thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today I'm going to talk about Uconn again. The story keeps evolving, keeps changing. Dennis Dodd came out with an article. Everybody else is talking. Even Monty has sources. And look, guys, you know where I stand on Uconn. We need to add Uconn for the future of this conference. This is a basketball first conference, like it or not. I know there's a lot of people, well, you got to concentrate on football. Really? Do you think any brand in the Big 12 is going to become Ohio State or Michigan or Alabama? Any of them? No. All right. Maybe in the distant future. Maybe Texas Tech becomes a juggernaut. But we're nowhere near that shit. The only way you can even remotely close the gap a little bit as far as monetarily between the Big 12 and the Big 2 is through basketball. The only way you do that is to add elite brands, big time basketball brands, Uconn being one of the biggest in the country. So yeah, you do the shit. And I'm talking to these spineless bastards who want to, vote against it, who aren't for it. Well, maybe we need to wait a while. We just added four schools before that. I mean, we haven't even played a game yet. Kiss my ass with your weak shit. Brett Yormark knows you gotta go. There's no time to sit still and wipe your ass and wonder where you are. No. You gotta keep pushing forward. The SEC and the Big Ten, they can stay pat for a while. They can chill for a couple seasons, couple years, whatever. They can do that. They're under no pressure to do anything. The Big 12, you got to act while the fire's hot. So all this bullshit of, well, we could just wait around too. No, you can't, dumbass. Why do you think the Pac ended up like they did? They just wanted to wait. Oh, we don't want to add any of these 8 schools from the Big 12 right now. Let's wait. Let's let them jump out ahead of us on a media rights deal and screw us. You don't wait. You got to go. Brett Yormark is telling you, got to go now, you go now. Now, what we are learning is some of these other issues may be tied into the Uconn decision, like the naming rights deal. You could probably get more money by adding Uconn. Why? Because it gives you at least a percentage of the New York area. Now, I have told y'all time and time again that media markets don't really matter that much anymore. Now, they still matter because of advertising. Advertisers want to advertise in big markets, big eyeballs. That's the theory behind it. Fine. Also, what we know is that most realignment, almost all realignment, is about football. It's not about academics, not about your market, not about any of that shit. It's not about carriage fees or any of that shit. It's about football brand, viewership, premium matchups. I've said it time and time again. When I say that, I am talking about who the SEC and the Big Ten want to add. That's what that's about. The consolidation of the biggest brands in the country going into 2 conferences. That's what that's based off of. Big 12 realignment, expansion is different. Because what we need is different than what the Big 10 need. And different with what the SEC needs. We need huge basketball brands. That's what we need. And yes, can a market help like Uconn, where they are 12 miles from the campus of ESPN? Yes. The New York area? Yes. Does the football team get good ratings right now? Absolutely not. But what is true is that Uconn brand of basketball, men's and women's, pulls in about $20 million a year in advertising dollars. That's what they generate. So that school, just with that, can pay for whatever this house case settlement. Their revenue sharing that they got to pay out, the 22% or whatever that is for a Big 12 school, they got that covered. They got it covered right now without football. And look, ESPN, from what is being talked about, is more than willing to take on Uconn. Brett Yormark's trying to find more value for the Big 12, trying to get everybody paid at a higher and higher and higher level. Son of a bitch, some of these presidents need to listen to him, because he knows more about generating interest, generating revenue, getting people paid than anybody else in this son of a bitch. That's what his whole background's about. He helped get NASCAR paid. He helped get Brooklyn money to go to Brooklyn and out of Jersey. This is what he does. He makes big moves, and they're all intertwined in some kind of way. Uconn's a big part of this. In the next 2 weeks, we're really going to know some things. But from what we hear, there's several different private equity firms Brett Yormark is talking to, trying to do business with that. That money, that deal can actually be a little better with Uconn because they're looking at the market. Now, why doesn't the Big Ten of the SEC go run out and snatch up Uconn? Because they don't have to. For them, it's not about... They get paid according to football. Neither one of them have near the brand value in basketball to split off getting one contract for basketball, one for football. They can just splice it all together and make an ass ton of money. The vast majority of that based on football revenue, football viewership, football premium matchups that bring massive viewerships to your games. When Oregon plays Michigan, people are going to watch. When Washington plays Ohio State or USC plays Ohio State, millions will watch. They know that. It's built into the price that the Big Ten got when they signed their new deal. It's going to be continually built into the next deal that they get in 2030. The Big 12, they may get a slight bump, depending on who they add from the ACC as far as football goes. They'll get a little bump in 2031. The biggest bump they can get is on basketball, which gets paid right now pennies on the dollar compared to football. Everyone needs to get this shit through your head. This is revenue neutral. If ESPN is willing to pay right now for them, it is revenue neutral. Well, with 2031, then here comes their shitty football team. Right now it is shitty. But you're talking about saying, look, you got to have a certain criteria. If you want your football to come into the Big 12 in 2031, then you have to hit certain rates how much you're going to actually invest in your football team. We need to see that. That's no problem. They have the money to invest in their football. They will invest. They're not going to make money on it through the Big 12 till 2031, that new deal. But y'all, I'm not worried about their football. Yeah, it sucks. No one watches it. Absolutely. But it can be made better if you invest. Look at Colorado. Colorado started making investments. You're talking about Colorado, the Buffaloes, being the absolute shits in the Pac-12. Just the worst football team. I mean, right there with Arizona State. Horrible. Dog shit. 1-win seasons. 1 win. And what have they done? Invest. You had to pay Dion. He wasn't coming for free. All right? You got to pay his staff. They're not coming for free. So they decided to invest in the program. That's what Uconn can and is willing to do. Invest. Work out start a collective. Get things rolling in Uconn for football. I'm not going to promise you, they'll win a natty one day, or they'll win the Big 12 in the first 5 years of being here. No. but it could be respectable. That could be a fun football team if you invest. Any team you think about, if the school's not going to invest in the program, it's going to go to shit. Look at Stanford. Okay, if they invest in their football, all of a sudden you get players like Andrew Luck. All of a sudden you're playing some pretty quality football. You're in bowl games. You're making revenue on that team. So right now, Uconn's incredibly valuable for the Big 12. They're incredibly valuable, period, just merely off of men's and women's basketball. Imagine what they can do if they invest in the football and get that thing, somewhere around a Texas Tech level. And all apologies to Texas Tech, that's not that big right now. It's not that big right now. Or hell, just get it to an Arizona State level. We're not asking for the next Alabama here. Can you get me to a UCF level? All right, where it could be fun, where hey, wonder where they can go from here, kind of thing. That's all we're asking for, right? That's all we want is respectability. Well, hey, that looks like a Division I team. Right now, they look like a freaking JUCO, but they can be more. Sorry, I just needed to yell about it for a minute. I'm just getting tired of people poo-pooing this shit. Whoa, especially the presidents of the Big 12. Screw yourself, you owe Brett Yormark. You owe him. Look, he made all the groundwork necessary so if the pack fell apart, 4 of those teams had a landing spot where they could still get paid. They still had a future. They're not playing in a G5. Utah does not have to go back to the Mountain West, do they? No, they're still in a Power 4 conference. Why? Because of Brett freaking Yormark. The Big Ten wasn't going to take you. The SEC sure as hell wasn't going to take you. The ACC, oh, you want to do all that travel? I seriously doubt it. And now they're going to fall apart anyway because of Florida State and Clemson. So you're secure. If you want to try to go with the Big 12 in 10 years and 6 years and 7 years, knock yourself out. I will laugh my ass off when every rejection letter just keeps getting handed to you. Why? Because you're in Salt Lake City. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Not to the Big Ten. Oh, we got great academics. Pfft, they don't care about your great academics. Got a great football team. They love that. But, how big are those ratings? What do they get? What does the Big Ten get with Utah? Oh, you get the state of Utah. 90% of the land is government freaking land. Maybe if they want to go camping in a beautiful spot, they'll take Utah. But, son of a bitch. But Oregon's pretty nice too. So is Washington State. They're there. They want to go camping. Take their ass to the Northwest. They can just fly right over you. That's what they do right now. Stop with this lofty bullshit, Utah. You're not even TCU. TCU gets better TV ratings than you. A small private school in Fort Worth, Texas. Kicks your ass in ratings every year. Every year. We played for a natty. You didn't. Played for a natty. We may have gotten our ass obliterated in the championship game, but son of a bitch, we've been there. You haven't. Support Yormark. This is your future home now and forever probably. There's nowhere else for you to go, Utah. Arizona's, that's why I'm calling you out. Arizona State. They got these lofty things. Oh, they don't want to do shit. They don't want to expand. If you would have expanded back in the day instead of listening to USC, the Pac-12 would still be alive, wouldn't it? Still be alive. But you're not. You're dead as fuck. Why? Because you didn't expand. You weren't forward thinking enough. Brett Yormark, that's all he does. He doesn't look this way. He looks that way. And that way he sees Uconn. He sees potential. He sees a huge market he can make some freaking money on and put money in everyone's pockets in the Big 12. So do it. You dumb sons of bitches. I'm tired of hearing, well, there's detractor people that are just, they're always going to be a no. Well, they get the fuck out of my conference. Take your ass back to the Pac. Take your ass to the Mountain West. Take your ass to the American. I don't give a shit. Get the hell out of here. This is for forward thinkers. These are people, we're risers. We're climbers. This is what this is for. We're not some elite country club bullshit like the Pac was or like the ACC is. We're not that. This is working class. Let's climb that fucking ladder. There ain't no gate around our community, son of a bitch. Anyway. I'm done. Thanks for watching this crap. And I'll be back with some other crap later. Bye.